Welcome to another episode of the Headlight Restoration Pro, where I'll be doing some vapor testing with this Headlight Restoration Vapor Kit, and also be showing you how to do it the real way, the Headlight Restoration Pro Way. All right, let's get down to business. Okay, this is my home setup, my garage workshop setup, or part of it, the part that I keep my tools. Those are my work bags you just saw there. This is the charging station. As you see, for each device, I have anywhere from 2 batteries all the way up to 7 or 8 batteries. So for my polisher, I have about 5 or 6 batteries. For my drills, I have about 7 or 8 batteries. For the Ryobis, because I have other drills too that I don't typically use on a day-to-day basis or on the videos. Just a lot of batteries. Okay, that's my charging docking station. This is my racking system here. This is all my product, my chemical product. As you see, there's a lot more products there to do with other stuff than just headlight restoration. You got some ceramics, some water spot removal, some different compounds, some different waxes. That's the ceramic there. You got all kind of stuff there. Got a lighting system, my fans up top. But anyways, just wanted to share that with you. These are the lights we're going to be messing around with here. This right here was on a video. This video here was a wipe clear test video, a review kit. The review on the wipe new kit, which actually turned out pretty good, as you see. But we're going to be starting here with another light, or the light that has not been worked on first. And check that out. What's that say? That is a vapor kit. One of the best ones that I've researched. Had the highest quality. It's listed in the bio, of course. Everything I use is listed in the bio for headlight restoration and for other stuff, as far as tools and products. This, from my research, is one of the best on here. And you'll see why once I open it. It has the best setup and the most bang for the buck. It's from China. It's made in China, sold on Amazon. And it just comes with a lot of stuff for your buck. And these vapor kits are typically inexpensive compared to restoration. What's in this kit here is probably enough to do a complete headlight restoration on maybe I'm estimating about 10 to 15 cars, at least 10 to 15 cars at minimum. Okay, could even be, depending on the size, might even get 20 cars out. And, per the price, that is pretty amazing. Let me just start out by saying that. That's one thing I noticed about this kit once I examined everything. But what it's saying on there pretty much is just sand the lights down until you removed all the damage, and then pretty much put the vapor coating on it. The key points on it is saying that it needs to be in a well ventilated spot. Okay, this stuff is very stinky. It's if you spray a spray can or something like that, like the McGuire's coating that I prefer, or any other coating or any kind of spray can, you're gonna know it stinks. But imagine if it was like steaming or cooking. Okay, so this really hits you. It's stinky, and it's very bad for your health. So you don't want to breathe it in. So well ventilated, and use a mask. Okay, you see all these different sandpapers here. It's amazing. It's a lot. You can cut these down to wrap on a block, or just do by hand or whatever. They're not adhesive, so you have to use these ones by hand. I just wanted to show you these. We're not doing these by hand because as I just finished telling somebody in the DMs that the sanding by hand is inferior. Okay, sanding in hand is remedial, and sanding by hand is more than likely more like a training wheels. Once you've tried power tools, you won't go back to sanding by hand. Once you've tried a method like mine, you won't go back. And the only way you would go back is if you just don't have the knowledge or skill to keep up with it, because it's far superior. It's like, the first time you were walking to somewhere, you were walking to high school and then you started driving. Like, could you go back if you wanted to? No, you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? If you want to walk to Mississippi, you know what I'm saying, from wherever you're at, if you're not in Mississippi, if you want to walk 10 states over versus driving, it's literally that big of a difference. And yeah, as you see, my finished product is always the same. It's always top notch, always crystal clear, always beautiful, flawless, right? And that's part of the reason why, because I'm using power tools. Okay, if using by hand, anybody, no matter how good they are, no matter how professional they are, no matter how many cars they've been in business with or whatever, if they're doing it by hand and you see their product and they see their product, you and them will notice every single light is different. It's always some kind of variability. You just don't know with hand sanding. Okay, so anyways, we're doing it the Headlight Restoration Pro Way, okay? We're not doing it their way. It's the same thing. It's just more advanced, okay? It's the same method I use. It's just with this vapor kit, okay? So we can get the utmost results. Okay, so this kit primarily is on Amazon, and this is it right here. Once again, you know, you can only you can check the link in the bio, and you can check how much it is. I'm not really allowed to say the prices of things on here. But it is fairly inexpensive, and it comes with a lot of cool stuff. I mean, look at this little foam kit, and it's got this cup here. You know, this cup is got digital stuff in it. It plugs in, it heats up. It's a little hot cup. You know, you can make coffee with it, if anything, if you don't want to use it for the vapor, but it's pretty neat. It's got a sanding block here. You know, you can wrap the sandpaper around and make it easier. If I was going to use the sanding block by hand, I would cut it in half or maybe even a third. It's just too big to use on most lights. You know, it has this cup here. This cup is mainly the main one you want to use. They have this thing here, which is like a flat lid where the straw goes on. And the straw is pretty much for when you have those lights that are more angled or have weird angles that you cannot reach. And this tape right here is so you could tape that top part of the straw on or tape the top of the cup to really keep in the pressure or to keep in the vapor, you know, keep the vapor coming out, you know, pressurized or nice. But anyways, that little part is pretty much to hit those hard to reach lights because you have to keep this thing at a 30-degree angle. That's part of the instructions and how it works. This is a big AC adapter that you can plug into the wall, and it yeah, it's a big high power adapter. It has a little light on it, let you know where if it's on or not, or you know where you are in the heat process. It also has a 12-volt adapter, as you see there, that you can plug into a car. It's not really that long. It depends on where your 12-volt adapter is in your car. If you can like reach it from inside to out, it's not always going to work. It's kind of short, but I mean, you know, it's you know, some cars it would work on, smaller cars. But anyways, this is the stuff. This is the vapor chemical here. This stuff is really, really blue, and it's really, really strange. I haven't had time to really research in depth on what it is. It's very strange, and you know, like I actually got some on my hand. I advise everybody to always use gloves or whatever. This, I could smell it, that it's not that of a volatile chemical. Like if you were to drink, you'd probably die very quick. But I mean, or get in your eyes, you'd probably go blind. But like far as touching it with your hand, I could smell it, that it's not like gonna melt your finger down to the bone. So I did get a little bit on my hand, okay, because I'm not using gloves. And once again, warning, I do not advise that. I would advise wearing gloves and a mask that's for vapor or organic vapors or something, which is more than just a COVID mask. And also, you know, eye goggles and gloves, all that stuff, okay, because it's strong stuff. But anyways, I got this blue stuff on my finger, and it's very weird. It's like I don't know, menthol or something, or like vapor, like vapor therm or vapor, you know, it's weird. It's very cold and evaporates really fast. It's interesting. But anyways, that's probably part of what it does. But these rubber bands go on here. They're like rubber bands, but they're more of grommets, and that's to keep it airtight because they wants that pressure to build up so the steam can shoot out directional. Okay, the steam is only going to shoot out about a half inch, but you see how that works? Because you can only keep in mind, you can only keep this cup at 30 degrees for it to work, which is an angle about here, about like this angle here as this line. If you go over that, you have a risk of it spilling out, and you have risk of it not working correctly. And the steam is, heat rises, and we have gravity, and we have air pressure, and all that stuff, and atmosphere. So the steam rises. Okay, you can see it rises. So it's only going to shoot at that directional tip for maybe half an inch. Okay, so you got to get kind of close. You got to get kind of close. It's only going to shoot out about a half an inch. So, with that other piece, that's why they have the little straw so you can bend it and use it on harder lights, like I said once again. But this is a really cool kit, and it is a good buy for what kits are out there. It comes with all the stuff. And like I said, when you have those paper here, you could cut it up and have different sizes. It comes with more than enough paper to do 10, 15 cars by hand, but we're not going to do that. Like I said, hand sanding is inferior. It's very remedial. And people who do, and I'm not talking shit, I'm not trying to bash anybody, okay? Don't get me wrong, I'm just trying to pull them up. I'm trying to let them know that there are better ways. I'm trying to let them know that when you're doing a headlight and it takes you 2 hours, and it always comes out different, and it's not as clear as mine, it's because you're doing it by hand. All right? There's a lot of things lacking. We're not going into that. That's another video. But anyways, when it takes an hour to do a headlight, it takes you 2 hours to do a car. It's only taking me 30 minutes. On my videos, it takes me about 15 minutes per light. And that's with me slowing down and me thinking about my topic, what I'm going to tell you guys about, with me, placing the cameras and me doing extra stuff and winding my P's and Q's and all that stuff. It takes me 15 minutes to do a light from the beginning to the end. So logically, it takes me about 30 minutes for a regular light like this, which I believe is 2006 Toyota Rav 4. It's also in this video here once again. But regular light like this would take me probably 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Something more difficult might take me about 45 minutes. And then, a lot of these guys aren't going to tell you they're doing it by hand, and it's going to take them freaking an hour and a half to do a car. It's going to take them an hour and 45 minutes to do a car. I call around sometimes and I just ask, okay, what's the process? And they're like, okay, I do by hand and this and that, and I spray this and this and that on it, and I'd be like, okay, what is the time? What do I have to leave my car there for you, or what do I got to do? And they're like, oh, you're gonna need to have it here for 3 hours, and I'm like, fucking 3 hours? What the fuck? so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I want to tell them, man, you need to pick up YouTube. You need to pick up your phone. Go to YouTube and punch in the Headlight Restoration Pro. Get up on some real stuff, get up on some futuristic headlight restoration, because that's unacceptable. I mean, if, one time, literally, I worked from about 5 in the morning to about 3:30 in the afternoon. And this was a summer day, and it was a 103-degree day, okay? I did 16 cars, and that's with taking a lunch and taking breaks. You know what I'm saying? Talking on the phone and shit. 16 cars in like an 8-hour, or so period. That's crazy, right? 16 cars, all at one location. Okay, I didn't have to drive. I had to drive around this installation, which was a huge installation, but I didn't have to leave the grounds, okay? So, I didn't have to, go to this part of town and that part of town or whatever. It was all in one city block. So, anyhow, did the normal process. If you guys are interested in the normal process that I use, check out any of my videos and you'll see that I'm using the same exact process that I use, the Headlight Restoration Pro method, the same tools, the same everything. All right. And we're going all the way to the finished product, okay, the finished product, and, to the point where I would normally spray the Meguiar's headlight coating at its clearest point after this, because you always want to, it's not proper headlight restoration to me if you do not polish the light before, if you do not spray the light, steam the light, whatever the light, towelette the wipe, ceramic the light at its clearest point, as clear as you can get it, the headlight's not going to function correctly. It's going to light up whatever, but the light's going to be scattered. The beam of the light is going to be scattered. It's not going to direct the same way. It's not going to throw itself as far as it can. You're going to be losing yards. Yards is a lot. When you're driving 60 mile an hour, a yard can feel like a mile. You know what I'm saying? It can be a lot. You know what I'm saying? It can save your life. So I'm talking yards. I'm talking 10s and 30s and 40s of yards. If you're not, look how clear this is. Now, this is how clear the light's going to come out, damn near, if not be enhanced by, normal measures. But you always got to do it clear. If you're not, you're just playing on a magic trick. You're jerking yourself off. You're jerking, people watching you off. If you're on YouTube, if you're just a businessman or whatever, and you like to see, oh my God, it's a foggy light, like the tip of this shit here. It's a foggy light. I'm going to spray this stuff here. I'm going to mist this vapor on here, and I'm going to see it so clear. Oh my God. You're jerking yourself off. If you don't know, if you don't know it, that's fine. But if you know it, you're just jerking yourself off, okay? Because, you know damn well, if you're watching my videos, if you watch enough of my videos, you know damn well, and just common sense, if you can spray a light at this clarity here versus being all foggy like this here, you know damn well which one's going to work better. You know damn well which one looks better. Think about it. Clear on fog is going to be what? Clear? Okay. But clear on clear is going to be what? Ultra clear. Beautiful. That's why my lights look this way. That's one of the reasons my lights look this way. And one of the reasons why my lights perform this way. When I have more time in the future, I will show you what that is about. But anyways, this is a fluid. Check this out. See that blue stuff there? It's so blue. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm going to do some research for another video in the future and clue you guys in more about this stuff here. Right now, we're just calling it the vapor juice, okay? And it's really stinky. You can smell it coming out of here, but once it heats up, oh my God, it smells like a freaking, toxic waste fart. It's gross. You could tell, you could smell it and tell, like, this is going to fuck me up if I keep smelling this. So, once again, be safe, wear a mask, okay? So it says here, what the beauty of this is, it says here that this bottle is 200 mils, okay, mLs, right? It says it only wants you to put up to 100 mils. So I put half the can in there, 100 mils. All right. And the thing is, it says that you cool off the rest and put it back into the container and you can reuse it. So with that being said, that's a good thing because you'll see coming up that there's quite a bit left. But as you look at this, look at that stuff. Can you see it? That's crazy. And it is really super clear and really, really, really nice, okay? But here's the thing. If you watched any of my videos, okay, and you've seen my methods, okay, you know how clear it is, okay? And you also would know that I would been done spraying the light about half a minute ago. Okay, so just keep in mind how long this takes. And this is in a windless environment. I'm inside my garage with the garage door closed, okay, because it's a little bit windy outside. One of the biggest downfalls with this kit or this method of headlight restoration, which I think is pretty damn awesome. But one of the downfalls is that any kind of wind, any kind of breeze or, any kind of disturbance, somebody walking by, will affect that coming out of the end, will affect that steam. Like literally, it needs to be about a half an inch, which gives you no room. And you have to have a really steady hand to do this, which I do, of course. So I excel at it. And you have to have a really steady hand just because it's so close to the light. I actually nicked the light at one point. You guys didn't see it because it's so close, but I actually nicked it at one point because I was so close. But this stuff is pretty cool at being self-filling. Okay. And it just takes quite a bit of time, and you can do overlapping, and you'll start seeing little spots that you might have missed. It's best to overlap and to not go all over the place, kind of go in lines or like in sections or whatnot, and always just keep track of where you're going. But it's cool that you can go over a spot more than once. They do say in the instructions that there's dripping hazards possibly, and if there's a drip, you can spot fix it and all this stuff like this, or start over or whatever. But it would be really difficult to have a drip going. Okay, it's a pretty humid day out today. I mean, not humid, but it's not a dry day. There's moisture in the air, and like I'm doing spots a couple times over. I'm putting a pretty thick layer of this. But with that being said, that is another downfall about this. It is rather thin once it goes on. It's rather, instead of a coating, almost more of heavier on a filling that's filling those porous pockets of the polycarbonate. Okay, it's very thin in comparison to any other kind of coating, which I'll go into in a minute. But that has an effect with the actual functionality of the light. When you're driving on a highway, oh fuck, I guess I'll just go into it now, right? When you're driving on a highway, you're driving somewhere and you're getting debris hitting your light. A certain amount of thickness is required to deflect these things, to not crack your headlight, to deflect stuff, to not damage your headlight or damage anything other than the clear coat on top of your actual headlight. In terms of this is about as thick as estimated maybe about 1/10 of the thickness that I put on the headlights with the Meguiar's coating, or with any other coating, whether it be a hand towelette or whatever. It's very thin. It's like you could tell when you touch it, you could tell when you're applying it. It's like microscopically thin. That's why I say it's more of a filler. But it is gorgeous, okay? This coating is better looking, and also just better looking, and better overall than most coatings I've used. Okay, and this is on the level of spray coatings. Okay, this is higher than any towelette coatings or ceramic coatings or anything like that. This is a higher method. It takes a very long time to get this stuff on there, and it's very temperamental. You could not, if there was just a slight breeze there, you couldn't do this outside. You'd have to have like a garage or some kind of barrier and make sure the wind is going one way or something, and a large enough barrier. And I work out, but with that being said, it is a very lustrous, beautiful, clear coating. And check this out, just so you know that I am still doing shit. Look at that. See how it's coming out onto the black trim there, or the rubber sealing, the rubber grommet. Yeah, it's still doing stuff. It's just hard to see, okay? And I'm just going over it, and it's still applying itself, and it's applying itself. And as you see, you don't have to worry about overlapping or whatever. If I had to advise, I would say overlap as much as you want and go over it as many times as you want until you feel comfortable that there's a nice enough layer, that there's no spots missed or whatever. Now, I cannot recommend any of this because it's a new technology. It's very new. Nobody can tell you this shit's been on my car for 15 years, or this shit's been on my car for 5 years, or this shit's been on my car for 2 years, and it looks like this because it's just new. Okay, so there's no telling if this will last 10 months, 5 months, 6 months. You know, if it'll last 2 years, if it'll last 10 years, who knows what it is. But that's only one part of the equation. I have faith in it that this will last quite a bit of time just from touching it and working with it and feeling it. But with that being said, I don't know how to hold up against environmental factors such as car washes or, you know, economical environmental factors or environmental factors. Car washes, pebbles hitting the lights, you know, things like that, you know, the impact issue with lights or whatever. I don't know how to hold up. But far as appearance, it is top notch. Check it out. That is beautiful. Now, keep in mind, this light was done the Headlight Restoration Pro Way. If you did this light, it's pretty much my exact method. It's my exact method. Exact tools and everything, except for instead of the clear coat, a Meguiar's clear coat, spray can clear coat, I'm using this, okay? So this, you know, like, once again, keep in mind that I'm using all that. So this is why this light has came out so beautiful, okay? This is the Headlight Restoration Pro's method of using a vapor kit or using a vapor headlight restoration kit, okay? Now, typically, it probably wouldn't come out this clear if you used your way or some other way or whatever the fuck you use, right? It probably wouldn't come out this way. Have you ever seen a vapor kit come out this clear? I haven't. And I've been all over the internet looking at them. Here's a little secret behind me. I watch all the headlight restoration stuff on YouTube all the time, just to see what's out there and, you know, catch people's ideologies and their little, you know, whatever they got going on and see how good they are. Or, you know, there's people on the level. You don't get me wrong. Sometimes I come across arrogant or whatever, but it's just a way to show you that I am that good and the product is that good and you can do it. It's not that hard if you follow what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But I do watch them and see how good they are, see how bad they are, and, you know, you see this. Only advice I can say, if you're out there, you're making videos, please don't oversaturate the internet with, you know, just terrible content that's like every single day, terrible content 3 times a day. Like, oh my God, look at this again and again and again. And it's just like, come on, man, just like, I don't know. But anyways, to each his own. I like to make quality content. But you see how much was left over there. We just have a lot of people in my DMs and they're like talking shit about certain people who do headlight restoration or have a so-called headlight restoration video or, a channel to say on here, and I just laugh all the time because they try to talk to me about it, and they're venting their frustrations with, you know, these channels or something, and I'm like, that's cool, just watch mine, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, watch mine, and I probably watch theirs as well just to see. To each his own. You know, like I said, I try to put quality content out there, and, you know, I could film every single headlight restoration that I do and then put it on here, but I try to make something special for you guys, and I try to make my videos educational and entertaining and visual for the people. You know, that's what I do it for initially, and you know, that's all. So to each his own. That's what I prefer to do. You know, I prefer, if it takes me a couple days to make a video, that's what it's going to be. You know, I could put together a little shitty video every day and put it out there, but I don't do that. But anyways, we're doing all this. We're sanding down all that stuff off that light, which was the wipe new, which is a bonus for the wipe new. It comes off very easy, like any headlight restoration product. Any true made for headlight restoration product should perform. It should come off really easy because it has to, because nothing is permanent. Keep in mind, again, people, nothing is permanent. I have some people in my DM saying, is it permanent headlight restoration? Ain't nothing permanent. You're not permanent. Life isn't permanent. This world isn't permanent. Cars aren't permanent. Nothing on a car is permanent, especially the headlight. So I'm trying this side here, as you see. I did that side. Look how beautiful that is. I redid it, broke everything down. Both sides are equal. And what I'm going to do here is spray the Meguiar's clear coat. Right there. Okay, I'm going to start here, spraying it outwards so none of it gets on that light there. It's a very directional tip. That's why I love it a lot. And as you see there, how quickly it's already done being sprayed right now. Okay, versus how long it takes with the other one. Although with the other side, the vapor side here, I sped it up just because it takes so long. I mean, it took probably about 5 to 8 minutes just to do half a light. It takes about maybe 5 seconds to do half a light with the spray here. But look at the comparability of look at the differences here. We're going to pull the tape off. Look at how nice it is compared to, the Meguiar's headlight coating, which is top tier. This is actually a top tier product. This is pretty awesome. It's just like I said, it is some kind of sketchy downward side effects, I guess. There's a couple of them, okay? Number one is just you have to have a power supply, okay? If you're mobile or something, that's not always easy to achieve, okay? The cord is not going to reach that long to plug into the car. The liquid is kind of messy if you spill it or whatever. You can be neat or whatever. And the other one is that it's very thin. Okay, it's very thin. You can almost see it on here. Look how thick it is here, right? The Meguiar's, and then watch how thick it is with the other stuff, the vapor. It's very thin. You can kind of tell. But with that being said, one of the biggest downfalls is it takes so long to get on that light. Okay, it takes a really long time. And the other one is the wind. If there's any kind of wind or nothing or anything like that, nothing's going to happen with this. You're going to be sitting there like, why won't this work? Because there's wind. And the Meguiar's wind, or spray, wind affects it as well, but not like that. Like you can just, you're just affecting it as far as I don't want to spray it and get it on anything else in the car. I can still spray it. I spray it all the time when it's windy. Just, I might use more, but it still works. With this, it just won't work, guaranteed. But check this out. This is what I usually do. This is a test, a vapor test of the first light I did. I put the date on it, and I'm going to put it out on a rack in my backyard so it can be exposed to sun, elements, and all kind of stuff. And then I'll give you guys an update sometime later down the road once I start seeing little things with it, or maybe a couple months. But thanks for watching. If you're using vapor, do it the Headlight Restoration Pro Way.